Hello everyone, I'm Cool Guy, welcome back. Today I want to talk about a sniper rifle that's been catching a lot of buzz around the community, the Energy 140 RPM raid sniper, the Omniscient Eye. And I obtained it after the final boss in the raid, and that appears to be the drop location. So if you've gotten it from a secret chest or any other encounter, let us know down in the comments section. The Omniscient Eye is a rapid fire frame similar to Twilight Oath, and that's one of the main things that's going to be talked about today. And honestly, within the rapid fire frame category, while it also being energy, is the Eye's direct competition. It's worth noting that with the gameplay that you're seeing, it doesn't have snapshot on it. That's going to be a special trait that it has, its handling and what you can do with it. We'll go over it later. In the background throughout the review, there is some pretty decent footage using it, at least I think so. I hope you enjoy it. I am in love with this sniper rifle, and before we get into it though, there is something that I want to point out that needs to be talked about a little bit. It's something for you to think about as you're watching or listening to the review. Sniper rifles are special in the sense that they're to the player. It's a weapon that you can make your own. It's about feel, it's about confidence, liking the zoom, liking the reticle. Some popular sniper rifles don't click with certain players. I've seen Beloved mains, Twilight Oath mains, Long Shadow, Bite of the Fox. There is no wrong answer. It's 100% about what makes you deadly. In PvE, sure, you're looking for specific things, firing line, 4th time's a charm, but for PvP players, when you get a new sniper, it's kind of like test driving at a dealership. Sometimes you use it, they aren't for you, you move on to another. The Omniscient Eye has some special traits about it, and I do believe that the majority of snipers in the Crucible will enjoy it when they pick it up. And throughout the review, I'm going to give some personal commentary as to why I like it so much, and to be 100% honest, I don't believe I've ever had so much control with the sniper in Destiny. I love the LDR in Destiny 1, I love Beloved in Destiny 2, but with this sniper, I am able to do some things that I just simply can't do with others. It's very good for me, and if you've noticed, in the background gameplay, there's some explosions with mine. The role that I have is Outlaw Dragonfly, and since that I have it, you know I have to put a Dragonfly spec on it. That makes the radius and damage of Dragonfly greater, and let me tell you, what a perfect role for a scout meta. Lots of grouped up players, and when a player is close to the other, the Dragonfly damage is 96. The rapid fire frames hit for 101 to the body, meaning that when I see that, I can follow up with a body shot for a total of 197 damage. And we've had a couple of examples, and throughout the gameplay it happens a lot. It's just a very fun thing to have. This is a rapid fire frame, deeper ammo reserve, slightly faster reload when the magazine is empty, and that comes in handy, and you'll see that throughout the gameplay as well. For the base stats, on the right of each stat is the Twilight Oath for comparison. It has a range of 43, stability of 42, handling of 73, reload of 61, aim assist of 72, recoil direction stat of 55, and a zoom factor of 40. It has really good base stats that has the highest range out of all rapid fire frames. And for the most part, the Omniscient Eye crushes Twilight Oath stat-wise, and all the base stats collectively as well when comparing to all the other rapid fire frames for that matter. A big difference is the zoom factor of 40 compared to the Twilight's 35, and the Twilight Oath has one of the closest zoom scopes in the game, same as Revoker. That 40 zoom you see on snipers like Beloved, Darcy, Soul Survivor. You're also going to notice that this scope is kinda odd. I do like it. I also really like the Diamond reticle. For whatever reason, I have a lot of control with this scope. I'm not sure if it's with how the edges line up, the axis of symmetry, how small the scope is when navigating with it. I just really enjoy it. Its recoil direction at 55 is perfect. The shots are vertical when firing back to back to back. It does trail a little bit, but it's not sudden and very wide like some others if the recoil direction stat is off. So you can feel fairly confident in knowing where you need to redirect when you're firing at max fire rate. And before I get into its perks, I want to point out the handling of the sniper rifle. I don't have snapshot, and I can tell you 100%, you can make this thing work without it. Even though there's no snapshot, I do have fluted barrel for plus 15 to handling and a handling masterwork. For the magazine, I have 2 mag perks that both get my rounds to 7. With fluted and a handling masterwork, the stat goes to 96. Handling is the speed in which the weapon can be readied and aimed. So even at 72 base, that's a high stat for handling. What you can do is at least add on precision weapon targeting from Armor 2.0 for improved target acquisition, accuracy, and aim down sight speed, so you're just adding on. Now if you have old armor or the new 2.0, with enhanced sniper rifle targeting, that's where you need to be. It helps out even more. I was using just old armor to get it, but it gets to a point right behind snapshot, very close to it. Snapshot's gonna be ideal or quick draw for a Crucible sniper, and it's actually detrimental to the majority of snipers if you don't have snapshot or quick draw, but with this one, it's not the end of the world. I promise it's enough that when you spec into handling, it's just fine, and in my case, I have that 96 stat that I add on to, but say you don't have any of that, you have 0 handling perks, then you want to at least put on that base precision weapon targeting mod to get you into a good place. And even without it, it's not that bad. But what makes it so special compared to other snipers is that it has a well enough core at base that you can make it work and make it work well. I don't have snapshot and I'm tearing it up with it. So again, it's not the end of the world like it is with other snipers if you don't have those handling perks like snapshot or quick draw. For the barrels, fluted is a top option if you don't have snapshot. Also small bore, polygonal, or corkscrew rifling are going to be top picks. For the magazine, steady rounds. This is a very stable sniper in the first place. It makes your follow-up shots a lot easier. It has a very high base range stat for a rapid fire frame. So adding range means that you're making the reticle more sticky, more slowdown, and that slowdown is something that I'm going to talk about in a later section. And again, mine personally had 2 magazine perks. Both make it to where I have 7 rounds in mine. That just means I have more to work with. Now for the perks, there are 4 perks within each node. In the first node, we have Genesis, Mulligan, Outlaw, No Distractions. In the second node, Dragonfly, Multi-Kill Clip, Snapshot, and Rampage. So out of the gate, if you get Snapshot, you're golden, but going back to earlier, it's not the end of the world if you don't roll it. The top roll combination is going to be Snapshot with No Distractions. And after that, it's going to be Snapshot with either Outlaw or Mulligan, and Mulligan kind of makes it like an energy revoker at times. I wouldn't really value Rampage or Multi-Kill Clip, maybe in PvE if you get a mag perk, but it's more for funsies than anything. But a small section for PvE here, it's a fun thing to use. I personally wouldn't use it in-game, but that isn't to say that these rapid fire frames are bad, because they're not. On console, where I am, landing those crits is kind of difficult at max fire rate with a rapid fire frame, but the damage is good, it really is. So Genesis might be an option there. Energy weapons regenerate ammo when matching shield type, so you can just spray them down. But some other perk combinations are ones like mine that are kind of fun. Outlaw Dragonfly. And I have just a little over 300 kills in PvP so far. I'm so used to it, so in tune with it. I'm not sure I would want to switch to a snapshot one if I had it rolled, because I'm dialed in with this one. So that brings us back to the question, is this better than Twilight Oath? The answer to that question is subjective. A good friend of mine, Drewski, has over 37,000 PvP kills with his Twilight Oath. Needless to say, that's his sniper rifle. To me, if you've been following me for a while, when have you ever seen Twilight Oath gameplay on my channel? And the answer to that question is rarely, if not at all. It's because I don't personally like Twilight Oath. I just never grooved with it. I didn't like the feel of it. Or when Soul Survivor came out, it's another 40 zoom. It was alright, but I went back to my main at the time. So on paper, the Omniscient Eye is better than Twilight Oath, but that doesn't mean that it's better for you. That's the main thing with these, going back to the very beginning, there's something that you make your own. To me, on a personal note, it is better, but take that comment knowing what you know about your own sniper play. I was a Beloved main, and I thought that no sniper could ever take that place, but here we are. The control I have with the Omniscient Eye is unmatched to anything I've ever used in Destiny. More than Beloved, more than the LDR from Destiny 1, and that was my jam. I can place this thing exactly where I want to, and that's an accumulation of its aim assist, its range, its scope, the visual feedback I have in the act of sniping. It just clicks, and it clicks on a whole new level for me. But that's just me though, and to go back to what I was saying at the start, I do believe that for a lot of players who love sniping will enjoy it, because it has a lot going for it. But then again, you know what you like. Take our friend Drew here with 37,000 Twilight Oath PvP kills. It's gonna take a lot to take that Twilight Oath out of his hands. And that's how I feel it becoming for me with the Omniscient Eye. It clicks with me, just how Twilight clicks with him, just how a certain sniper might click with you. The muscle memory is forming with it, and at a certain point you can't be stopped. And it's gonna be really hard to find a replacement. So that's where I am with this sniper rifle. It's very good, even without snapshot, and that's rare, it's still good. And I'm also having a new kind of fun with Dragonfly and a Dragonfly spec. It's awesome. Because before this sniper, I used Beloved a lot. Almost had 1,000 kills with it, but I use it for a number of reasons. Before this update, there was a time when certain hunters and titans ran around on their super for a little bit too long. One of them is still doing that, but I valued box breathing so I can be able to shut that down. With this update, they can now do it off base. You don't need box breathing, so I switched to a snapshot quick draw roll. Before both of them, I valued a kill clip to Tara for one-shot bodies, but here I am now. At the end of the day, if you're a sniper and this drops for you, it's something that you do need to test drive. It's gonna click or it's not, and if it doesn't, don't feel bad that it doesn't. There's no shame in that at all, it just might not be for you. I'm on the other end. I love everything about it, the zoom, the scope, the aesthetics, all of it. And if you're new to sniping, or still trying to find your main sniper rifle, I do believe that this one has a really good chance of fitting with you. It has a lot of positives. With these rapid fire frames, you're very snappy with them. They were never able to one-shot a super, but with its fire rate, you just give them one body shot and one headshot. One headshot does 160, you can follow them up with the body, or if it comes down to it, you can just spray them down to the body. You're using these rapid fire frames for how quick you can go target to target and be deadly with them, and the Omniscient Eye is top tier at doing that. So if you're new to the channel, remember to hit the subscribe button. If you are subscribed, thank you so much for your continued support, and remember to like and comment if you guys and gals see fit. If you have the Omniscient Eye, what role did you get on it, and what do you think about it? And if you don't have it, through the review, what you saw from the zoom to the perks to the scope, what are your thoughts? Let's talk about it in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am Cool Guy.